Stories and Spaces is really about young people getting the opportunity to explore different ways of telling stories.
So we wanted to give, over the 2 days, lots and lots of kind of creative tools that you might use to start generating ideas. So we looked at storytelling, we looked at telling stories with objects, telling stories with images, telling stories about the spaces that are personal to you, telling stories about imaginary spaces, and we wanted to offer the young people a kind of performance-making toolkit or a creative toolkit that they might use themselves to generate new ideas, basically.
Scottish Youth Theatre is undergoing a transformation at the moment. We've got rid of our venue in Glasgow and we're a truly national organisation. Scotland is our venue, so here we are in beautiful Tobar on an almost sunny day.
This weekend's been about connecting with young people on Mull. It's really important to us as a national institution to be able to reach out beyond Glasgow, which is where the Royal Conservatoire of Scotland is based. And it's vital for us to be able to find out what brilliant work is going on in and around the country, but in particular on the islands. And I tell you what we've discovered is that there's the most amazing practice going on Mull. The young people here are supported beyond any way that I would have imagined in terms of developing their performing arts practice.
We've had a celebration of sharing of creative skills, which has been an amazing feat for our kids here, our youth, our young adults, who have been able to have an open space to play, tell stories, have fun, and be thousands of characters.
This weekend they've had the opportunity to work with Tawona, an extraordinary storyteller, and also with Jack, who is a photographer, who has an unusual approach to photography. So they've used those different approaches as ways of developing new work for themselves, exploring new stories to tell.
My job has been to encourage the young people to think about the images they make, the archives they keep in their pockets on their phones, and think about how images tell stories and the stories that we can tell with images, how we can move images around, how we can put images with images to tell other stories, and how we read and think about the special moments or the things we decide to capture in our lives.
Well, we put objects on some paper and then put them under a UV lamp and then put them in water and they developed. I liked all of those, all really fun.
Bheith sin déanamh tóir mar cimar a hair scríbigh míon rutacin, agus a fáinneach mar a míon cimar a hair scríbigh mar rutacin mar sin. Agus mar suir san 3 minúte agus díreach scríbigh a thuileadh a hadí an san ceannacha. Ma hai gárach neam, ha neala gárach, ha neala déanamh difar.
We walked into the most amazing space, you know. The culture and spirit that was in the space already really made the work a lot easier for us. We came with a few things that we wanted to share. We wanted to look at story visually through written and spoken words and, you know, making. I think the word making is quite central to this.
I think my favourite part was learning more tech stuff because I'm really interested in the tech side of theatre, and it was very enjoyable to learn more about that.
I was trying to make an experimental but accessible sound palette for them to interact with, involving their suggestions. I hope that they came away realising that sound can really be anything, even the most nonsensical thing.
Their experiences are perhaps very different from experiences of young people in Glasgow and Edinburgh and the Central Belt and the centres of culture, and it's useful for us to take those stories and to be able to think about how we then provide better services and better access to young people in these communities for and to the arts.
I think it's really good that we've forged relationships now with the Conservatoire and with SYT. We've strengthened those to make a pathway to move forward.
When we work together, we're more powerful in that we're better at listening to young people. We're better at understanding what their needs are because we're working together to understand that, and we're better at then taking the practice from each other forwards into our work. Each young person brought something into that room that made me think, gosh, I hadn't even thought that that kind of thinking was possible. They were open, so all the young people here were welcoming. They gave us little gifts of their practice, and I'm going to take away with me so many thoughts and beautiful feelings about how young people on Mull think today and what that might mean in terms of tomorrow's artists.
Maybe the true result of this project we'll know in 4, 5, 6 months' time.
By coming here with the idea that I was going to teach people things, I probably learned more than I taught.
We had loads of fun. I snog vi gin of stew le dinja. Agus hai snog a fain dinja chian sin stew gin of leis nye or hanyo sin fain sin tar Aaron Jalen.
It was definitely a very fun and unique experience, and I would recommend it to anyone who's interested in the arts.